Apple now has a creator studio. But here's the thing nobody's talking about. A significant chunk of this subscription, you already own it for free, actually. So I spent 30 days inside the full ecosystem. So quick context before we dive in. Apple Creator Studio isn't a single app. It's a subscription bundle, as you probably already know, and that's where most of the confusion starts. So during my 30 days, two things kept coming up. First off, some of the apps in this bundle are completely free to every Mac user. Like, they're bundled in to make the subscription look bigger than it is. Second, if you already have Final Cut Pro or Logic Pro installed, you'll end up with duplicate apps. You know, same name, same icon, sitting side by side. Generally confusing. Apple doesn't even resolve this cleanly. So the goal of this video is simple. Figure out what you're actually paying for and whether it's worth it or not. So let's start with the basics. Apple Creator Studio is not a single application. It's a subscription that bundles together Apple's full creative ecosystem. You know, some apps that cost money, some that are completely free. The key mindset shift here is that Apple isn't just selling you software, they're actually selling you a workflow. The idea is that all your tools live in one ecosystem, you know, optimized for Apple hardware with iCloud tying everything together. So that's the pitch. Now let's look at what you actually get. All right, this is the part that surprised me the most. There's 4 apps in this bundle that are already free for every Mac user. That is Pages, Numbers, Keynote, and Freeform. No hidden tiers, no locked features. If you have a Mac, you already have these, like right now, for free. And they're not even stripped down versions. Like, Pages is a fully capable writing app. Numbers handles planning and tracking like Excel. Keynote is one of the best presentation tools on the market. It's like PowerPoint, basically a competitor. And Freeform is a solid visual brainstorm canvas. So these are generally useful tools for creators. But here's the thing though, these are workflow support tools. They're not video tools. They're not why anyone buys this subscription. So if you're evaluating Creator Studio, just ignore these 4 apps. They're not what you're paying for. All right, so now for the paid apps, this is where the real money is. The paid apps in the bundle are Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, Motion, Compressor, and Pixelmator Pro. Well, depending on your region, basically. Let me break down each one. Final Cut Pro is exceptional for YouTube creators. It's basically the video editor and a competitor of Adobe Premiere Pro. It's fast, it's hardware optimized for Mac, and the magnetic timeline is generally more intuitive than Premiere Pro once you're used to it, to be honest with you. If you edit video on a Mac, this is the app you're paying for. Now, Logic Pro is a professional grade DAW. It's deep, it's powerful, and it has an enormous library of plugins and samples built in. So if you're scoring music, recording voiceovers with, you know, serious post-processing or producing audio content, I think Logic Pro is worth it. If you're just cleaning up your mic audio though, it's probably overkill. Now let's get to Motion. Motion is a motion graphics tool. It is basically the Apple's answer to After Effects. And most YouTube creators won't even open it more than twice. If you're building templates though, or doing complex visual effects, it's pretty useful. If not, it's basically background noise. Now for Compressor, it is a transcoding and export tool. It's very niche. If you were delivering content to broadcasters or need granular encoding control, you might use it, but for most creators, you never will. So to be direct, for most YouTube creators, this subscription is really about 2 apps, Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro. The rest is included, but you know, it's incidental. I need to talk about the duplicate app situation here because this actually threw me off completely. When you subscribe to Creator Studio, the apps install through the App Store. But if you already had Final Cut Pro installed, like through a direct purchase, you know, a one-time purchase or an older version, you end up with 2 versions of the same app or the same name. It's basically, well, not really same icon. It's kind of like there's an updated icon, but it shows the same name, both functional. I would say though, if you get info on each, you know, inspect the info, they actually have kind of different names. You probably see it on the B-roll. I'll put a screenshot on them. But the file name that you're going to see on Finder is pretty much the same. It's kind of confusing. Now, the App Store flags the bundle version. The older version just sits there. So like, Apple doesn't automatically replace one with the other. And there's no clear messaging about which one you should use or which one to delete. This isn't a massive technical problem, but it's generally confusing UX from a company that's supposed to make things simpler. And it creates real doubt. Am I using the right version, or are my settings going to transfer? I went through this. It's fixable, but it shouldn't be something you have to figure out on your own. Now, let's be honest about what each ecosystem is actually built for. Adobe is a subscription-based with Premiere, Audition, After Effects, and Photoshop as your core tools. It's the industry standard. It's flexible. It works on Mac and Windows. It's built for collaboration and professional delivery across formats, right? Now, Apple's ecosystem is a bit simpler. It's tighter and faster, but it's optimized for Mac and largely built for individual creators. So here's the key difference. Apple is speed and simplicity, while Adobe is powerful and flexibility. Neither is wrong. They're pretty much built for different types of creators. If you're a solo creator who edits on a Mac, posts to YouTube, and doesn't really need to collaborate with a team on a shared project, and such, Apple's ecosystem is legitimately competitive with Adobe. Now, if you're working with an agency though on complex multi-platform productions, or you need After Effects, I think Adobe is still the stronger choice. So here's my honest take. If you edit video on a Mac and you don't already own Final Cut Pro, this subscription is worth seriously considering. I think Final Cut Pro alone justifies the cost for most YouTubers. If you also produce your own audio, you can add Logic Pro to that. There's two tools that otherwise be significant individual purchases that are now in one bundle. The Motion and Compressor are included, and they're also professional tools, but most creators won't need them regularly. The free apps, Pages, Numbers, Keynote, Freeform, they are generally useful, but they're not a reason to subscribe. You already have them for free. Apple Creator Studio is not the right fit for everyone, I must say. But for solo Mac creators who are seriously about video, it's a strong choice, I would say, especially if you're currently paying monthly for Adobe, which is way more expensive, and not using the collaboration features. The question now is whether you're a Final Cut Pro creator or a Premiere Pro creator. That's really what you're going to be deciding. All right, that's for the full breakdown. What's actually in the bundle, what you're paying for, and what it makes sense for you. If this was useful to you, don't forget to smash the like button, and if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to go deep on tools and workflows for solo creators every week. Drop a comment down below if you are an Apple or Adobe on this. I'm generally curious where people land on this. See you on the next video.